Bad.
Z.
You guys, I was just reading a really funny blog post
Oh,
as we were getting started this morning on Medium, on this, I guess, blog called The Nib.
never
And
heard of it.
yeah, and it's January, the paint collection, a new range of colors inspired by winter.
Ooh.
And it's various shades of gray and black, and they're named as follows: foreboding,
Oh.
impending gloom,
Nice.
pessimism,
Mhm.
malaise, despondency, broken light therapy box, apathy, bad decisions, forgotten joy, persistent aches and pains, nothingness, misplaced optimism, possible vitamin D deficiency, frozen puddle, unshakable hopelessness, and abject despair.
The only possible addition I would make to that is invisible black ice.
I like invisible black ice.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that here last week.
Oh my God! I was trying to walk to the train the other day, and it was like it was worse than I've ever seen it. I look where I'm going. I'm very careful about where I place my feet. I don't run all willy-nilly. And the other day I wiped out walking to the train 3 times.
Some black ice is invincible.
I just couldn't see it. I could not see it.
But you also can't navigate it even if you're perfectly positioning your weight. You're fucking doomed. There's just no way.
It's true.
But also, it's super dangerous if you're listening to a really good song, because listening to good music influences the way that you walk.
That's true.
The second, I listen to some fucking high energy shit in the morning, so I walk to work like I'm on a runway, I'm listening to fucking Naomi Campbell.
Bebopping on black ice is way more dangerous than just walking.
It's probably second in cause of deaths to snow inhalation.
I mean, I would have to say that when you transfer the weight into your twerking muscles, it really tends to throw you off balance. So yeah. The black ice twerk is definitely almost as dangerous of a winter malady as snow inhalation, I would say.
Black ice?
We're going to have to raise awareness.
We're going to have to raise awareness about black ice twerking.
The platform of our pod, this incredible power that we've been given by you, the internet, to raise awareness about the kind of suffering that people endure because they're trying to twerk on black ice.
If they make a candle and name it Black Ice Twerk, I'm imagining it's gonna smell a lot like Pitbull smell. I've never smelled Pitbull, but he looks like he smells like those tree car fresheners, the black ice ones.
Yes.
You can just tell he wears a really heavy, strong cologne, and that's probably what he smells like.
Yes. Yes, Black Ice Twerking. Yes. Guys, go on.
I was just gonna say I want to get in early to discuss the Twitter war that's going on.
Oh, that was intense for a minute there. I had to step out of work.
What do you call a war where only one side is fighting? Because
America.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Jen
Savage just got America. She just got some freedom rained down on her fucking head.
Yeah, you fucking terrorist savage.
She really did.
She's such a Saddam Hussein, is what she is.
She just lays down and takes it.
This is Jen. Hey Jen, are you gonna address what's happening in the Twitterverse right now? Because Eric Choi is owning you. I don't know what my password is for Twitter. There's a box to reset your password. I deleted Twitter from my phone. Help me help you. What the fuck is this?
I feel like I want to hack Savage's Twitter account just because it's hard to watch this. And I feel like she needs to retort in some way, and if I have to do it, then...
I mean, even if just the occasional hashtag anything, just contribute a Savage, anything.
Her password is probably so fucking easy to figure out.
Her password is definitely poop. Every password for everything she's ever done is poop. Maybe she's up to poop 69 now, like I am up to King Kong 69, but...
You 69 with King Kong?
Yes, all my passwords are always 69 with King Kong.
That's so hot.
I know, so hot.
For those who are not following us on Twitter and don't know what we're talking about, and we hate you, fuck you. Why are you not following us on Twitter?
Right, there's nothing else.
It's really important. Follow us on Twitter at Sideways the Pod. This is serious.
There's nothing else important in this world.
Right. All like a solid 10% of the fun of the show happens on Twitter.
Yep, absolutely.
So anyway, for those of you who weren't following it, there is a tentative date for a gang fight between the East Ham Chois and Tokyo Savages taking place at the Double Dragon in Orleans. So
Yeah.
for anyone that comes, I will buy you a scorpion bowl.
Yeah. And I will buy you some seagull house cat Mugu Gai pan.
Gung Pao Seagull.
Gung Pao seagull.
You know, they literally, I think they really did get shut down for some
That was
reason.
another restaurant on Cape Cod. It was the one in Hyannis. That was the one right near Marshall's, right near the mall. I think that place got shut down for serving seagulls. Because
Googling this right now.
nobody should ever serve seagulls alcohol. It's just dangerous.
And don't feed Steven Seagal either.
No,
if you fucking
don't
to your
serve
restaurant.
Steven Seagal. He's banned from every restaurant in the
It's the
world.
fucking worst.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of this fucking war that's being waged on Twitter, it's being spearheaded by one Eric Choi, who I don't know if you guys have heard of him because we don't talk about him.
Never.
We don't have a massive girl crush on
No, never.
Eric
A
Choi. No.
giant smile does not spread across my face at the very mention of his name.
I don't have to cross my legs when someone mentions Eric Choi or anything.
My pussy never explodes when we talk about Eric Choi.
Eric Choi suggested that we start listening to our fans, of which he is the one.
Yeah.
And he suggested, it's something that we toyed around with doing for a while, is having, like, where we read mail submitted by our fans.
We've just never had any mail before.
Yeah, we didn't have an address.
Yeah. We were like Santa Claus in the North
Yeah.
Pole for a while there.
Wait, I think we have a Gmail address.
We do.
Sidewaysthepod@gmail.com, I think, right?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yep,
Yeah.
we do.
So email us at sidewaysthepod@gmail.com.
And Oak will check it.
Yeah.
I will check it. I
Yeah.
think it forwards to my real address.
I think it forwards to mine too.
So we have our first mailbag question.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
That was a little intro. You like that music?
I also would like to let you know that in honor of our most important listener, or maybe most real Asian listener, I named today's episode on YouTube The Choi of Sex.
Yes.
But that's the one that got fucked up, so then I named the next one The Choi of Cooking. So this episode on YouTube is called The Choi of Cooking.
It's much more tasteful.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Because Eric Choi is the type of person who, after you have sex with, you definitely want to cook for him.
Yes, exactly. So
Yeah.
moving right into
Baby, you like lasagna? I'll make this lasagna for you. I have really gone overboard. Eric is my coworker for the next 8 hours because everyone knows that I'm leaving. So I guess I feel like I can just fucking say whatever I want.
Yeah.
Wait, did you just drop a bomb on the
Wait.
internet?
Wait.
Oh my God, is he here? No, I'm so scared.
No, Eric Choi is in the building.
Oh my god!
I'm so scared.
Eric, there's the microphone.
Yeah!
That fucking Barry White voice.
Yeah.
We were just discussing the war.
What's up, people?
Yeah!
Eric Choi!
Celebrity guest, Eric Choi.
I'm so
Get
excited.
him on camera. You guys
The one man who can save the world from black eyes twerking, Eric Choi.
The first robot.
There he is.
The first 20 minutes of this podcast have been about you, so I'm glad that you're here.
Eric Choi, there's no way you live in
What's
these.
up,
Oh,
guys?
he can't hear. He can't hear because I have headphones in.
Well, he'll hear on the podcast, but I don't believe that he lives on
He's here
Cape
now.
Cod. This is he's much too stylish.
Hold on, let me fix this. You guys hear us?
Yeah, I can hear
I
you.
just dance a little bit.
Yeah, there's Eric
I don't know how
Choi.
to fix this. Built-in output. Can you guys hear us?
Yeah.
All right.
There's something called the volume button.
I was.
Yeah!
Eric Choi, we were just going to read a question of yours, which came in through our mailbag, which is,
Let's get both in here.
can someone explain Dylan why we do Bob's in the morning?
Oh, that's a good question. How did we start doing the bobs?
If I had to guess, I would say that one of us was like groaning in distress, and somebody else like reflected that it sounded like Bob Dylan.
I think that
And
was
we all
probably it.
started to. Does that sound right?
Dylan fans, or you
Yeah.
are Dylan fans.
Yeah, I mean it sounds a lot like, I mean, also way back in the day, I used to smoke a lot of pot before we did the podcast, before I took it seriously, and so I was always feeling really Bob Dylan-y first thing in the morning.
It might have something to do with it.
Yeah.
We could probably retrace our steps and figure out where Bob came from.
Yeah, where it is come from.
If only these conversations were recorded in some medium.
I know. How
Oh,
can
well,
we bring
it'll
it
never happen.
back somehow? Oh well,
That's
it's lost
impossible.
forever.
It's gone forever.
Lost forever.
If only we had the fucking devotion to going back and listening to our former selves.
I know. Imagine if any of us ever listened to our podcast ever again.
I've got that on lock. Don't worry. I'm going through Stitcher episode by episode.
Yes.
Oh, good.
I'll let you guys know.
It'll be like the next serial. You'll just have to like go back through all the things, and no one will ever know. You'll like unveil a little bit of the information.
The next serial is going to follow Jen Sapp trying to assassinate Eric.
and failing miserably because she can't even log into her Twitter. She's just getting murdered on Twitter. And
Dragon Inn in New Orleans. I would be honored if they were proud to sponsor this feud.
Yes, they are. I'm sure they are.
Just saying, anyone who wants to attend the gang fight between the East Ham Chois and the Tokyo Savages, get a Scorpion Bowl on me.
That alone, I would pay money to see.
Me too.
For the name alone.
Yeah. I think Jen's mom would show up, and she loves to wear Christmas pins, so that would be like a real wild card in the battle.
Well, I just wanted to say hello because I got another meeting to run to. I got to set up for something.
You're so important, Eric Choi.
I'm so happy that I was able to pop my face in a little bit here.
We love you. You're our biggest fan. We'll see you on Twitter. And this pod will be up this afternoon.
All right. I can't wait, guys.
Also,
Bye, Eric Choi.
don't feel uncomfortable for some of the stuff that we were saying. It was probably a little too sexual.
Yeah, don't tell your wife.
Middle name is sexual, so it's all good.
What is the middle name?
My parents were weird like that. I don't know.
That has such a nice ring to it, though. Eric Sexual Choi.
Yeah. Sexual chocolate.
We had our first guest. We fucking hit the big leagues.
We have had guests before.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? When you like wake up at somebody's house and you're pod from their bed, that doesn't count as a guest.
Yes, it does. What if they wake up at your house and they're potting from the couch?
It doesn't count as a guest when someone happens to be at your house.
Yes, it does.
I mean, I guess it does technically.
All my one-night stands definitely count as guests.
Where you're like, hey, shh, hey,
Yeah.
shut up.
No.
Hey, get your shit.
My brother's on this. Don't say anything.
I forgot about Armand Lasagna.
Yeah,
And
Armand Lasagna.
But does Armand even listen to us? Because I don't
Yes.
think
He does, yeah. We've
He
talked
does.
about
He listens to us in batches, like most of the smart people do. We listened to a couple episodes and we were driving someplace recently.
I'm going to plug my headphones back in so that my sound quality is better.
Good.
Because I'm so thoughtful.
I kind of want to switch out my headphones, so I'll be right back. Discuss.
Switching out your headphones.
So, Byram, have you been following Deflategate?
Yeah, no. So I just read a little bit about it because, as the sports anchor on Coming In Sideways, it's very important that I know about all this stuff. Something about the Patriots having deflated balls.
Yeah. So the NFL is investigating. Apparently, they measured the footballs that the Patriots were using at halftime of their AFC Championship game against the Colts, and determined that 11 out of 12 of them were significantly under the regulation air pressure.
Oh, Deflategate!
Yeah, and so the coach, Bill Belichick, gave a press conference yesterday and said that he has no idea what any of this is. He's never. The air pressure of the footballs has nothing to do with him, and he's never discussed it with anybody because it just does nothing to do with his job. And he seemed pretty believable because he was sort of just annoyed and, whatever. Then Tom Brady gave a press conference later in the afternoon, and a lot of stammering and a lot of like I have no knowledge of, and like it's it sounded a little fishy, but he also denied having altered the footballs in any way. So it basically comes down to the 75% of America who fucking despises the Patriots and just wants bad things to happen to them, thinks they're guilty, and everyone else either thinks they're innocent or just doesn't give a fuck because who gives a fuck?
Well, like I don't know what it feels like to catch a football because I always just flinch and like hide when the football has been thrown at me. I gotta imagine that look at me being super technical here, and again, people listen to Coming In Sideways for the sports.
For the sports, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I've got to imagine that the interceptions. See, guys, what I did there? I used a word.
Good one.
Sports jargon. If these teams hate the Patriots so much, when they intercept the ball, wouldn't someone who intercepts said ball say, "Hey, that was a little bit softer"?
Well, so originally it was reported that Tom Brady did throw an interception, and it was originally reported that the guy who intercepted it thought that the ball seemed soft and reported that. But then he came out and said he didn't because people have done all these tests. It's actually really hard to tell. It's not like it wasn't deflated to the point where you could feel it and tell. It's just you can't. The difference between like whatever PSI it was supposed to be and whatever it was is like you'd have to use a pressure gauge to be able to tell the difference.
I wish that worked with my implants because people fucking know they're fake the second they grab.
But also, wouldn't it have been of benefit to the Colts as well if the ball hadn't been properly inflated? Like, why did the Patriots win 1,000 points?
Because the Patriots and Colts use separate balls. Each team's offense gets 12 footballs for the day. And they get to sort of so the quarterbacks can kind of prepare them in whatever way they want. I mean, within the rules. So they like kind of scuff them up, and they get to choose from like 24, and they pick their favorite 12 for the game.
Oh, interesting. So Tom Brady does the ball choosing?
Yes, he does.
Wow.
And the problem was like not if he chose the balls before the game, and they were underinflated, then that's not the problem because then the refs inspect them and then decide whether they're going to be able to go into the game. The problem was if they were inspected by the refs, found to be at the proper inflation, and then deflated during the course of the game after they were inspected.
Wow, this sounds like such a caper.
Yeah, total caper. And also it makes fucking zero difference in the game. The game was a total blowout. It was like, I don't know. So it's a bummer for those of us that are Patriots fans because it's just another thing for everyone to scream like cheater about. Yeah. And it gave no advantage and made no difference, so it was a fucking pointless thing to do.
Dude, I don't know. I think you're great when you've got fucking haters.
Right.
I love haters. I think
that's true. That's true. And that's been the sort of rallying cry of the like Patriots fans, which is they hate us because they ain't us.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
Embrace the hate.
Yeah, and it's true, because if the game was played again, isn't there a call that the game was going to be played again?
If we played again, we'd blow them out even worse.
I think that would be awesome. I think it would just be a fun thing for Bill Belichick to do.
Yeah. Listen, guys, suit up. This stuff is like not really possible. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much money invested in everything that has to do with like the Super Bowl. So like, you can't change the date. Right. You can't change the teams. Like people were saying, like, well, you should void their victory and take the Patriots out of the Super Bowl. Like, you couldn't do that even if you wanted to.
Right.
It's like people hate the Patriots.
Yeah.
I mean, there was like Spygate, and then they like just win all the time, and Belichick's like a huge asshole, and so everyone's like just wants them to die. But, so I don't know. For my part, like, I'm sure they probably did something fishy. They're always up to some kind of.
But every team everywhere, I'm sure the Colts did something fishy too.
Yeah, all the teams do kind of like fudge around the edges. They do have this like Spygate thing, so they're sort of like they have a strike against them already.
Yeah.
So what I hope is that like the NFL just comes out like makes an announcement about what the results of their investigation were and what they think happened, levels of punishment that's reasonable, like. You lose a draft pick and you get fined $25 to $300 or something like that.
Right. Totally.
And we just move on. But it's like the story of it is less about what actually happened and more about how big of a story it is.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like
It led like the 3 big national news broadcasts last night.
Yeah, dude. A cardiothoracic surgeon got shot in Boston 3 days ago while performing surgery or like at the hospital, and the news was still about the fucking
It's
Deflategate.
fucking crazy.
I thought that was ridiculous.
But this leads into a good point about what we have as a national news media and like what we're actually like what our source of information is. And it's not, the news is not like what you need to know to make informed decisions in your life or what's important that's going on. It's what's going to make you the most angry.
Mm-hmm.
So like what is going to get the greatest emotional response is what gets put on the news. And because like cheating in sports gets the greatest emotional response from people, that's what is in the news. Like that's why the news gets dominated by like Lance Armstrong or like the steroid trials in baseball, all this other stuff, because it's something that people can get really worked up about, and that you as like a pundit or a politician or whoever you are can stand up and say, I take this position and I'm really mad about it, and you can get a bunch of people to support you in a really emphatic way. And it's just it's such bullshit. Like it's such a waste of time, So
yeah, and it's like everyone in the country is still just like totally buying into it and like complaining about how, I mean, I do this. I totally buy into this shit. I'm like the first person to pick up on clickbait. I'm always clicking on clickbait and sharing the clickbait and getting mad about clickbait, but I'm starting to like understand it a little bit more.
Right. Like I would say it, like if you have an immediate like visceral emotional response to some piece of media that you've seen, that it was constructed to do that.
Yeah. Exactly.
There's very, very, it's not often now in our like age of like media expertise that you come across something that is like just something real,
right,
that triggers that kind of emotional response in you. Usually it's created for that purpose.
Right, exactly. Because in real life, nothing is ever so black and white as to be able to get like really, and like very rarely.
Yeah, and there are things, but for the most part, like stuff is there's just media people out there whose expertise is to try to get you to respond to something and share it and whatever. And so I think the first thing you have to come at especially on the internet or on social media, like everything you come across, you have to have the like what's the agenda?
Yeah.
Like what's really going on here?
Right. And the agenda with the Deflategate thing is just they want people to be fired up about stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
I think, and now the Super Bowl is going to be, I mean, as though Super Bowl could possibly make more money, but now this coming Super Bowl is going to be like the most probably really heavily watched because of this whole Deflategate thing.
Yeah, and I mean, the sort of annoying thing is there's like much more interesting stuff going on in the Super Bowl. Like it's an awesome matchup. Like I think the Vegas betting line is like even.
Wow.
It hasn't happened in a really long time.
Seahawks and the Patriots, right?
Yes, correct.
That's cool.
It's really
cool for our
and
family.
like there's like it's interesting from the standpoint of like you could make a lot of comparisons between Russell Wilson, the Seahawks quarterback, and Tom Brady when he first was winning Super Bowls in like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Like, their stats are very similar. Their like path to where they are is like pretty similar, and there's just a lot of like really interesting matchups. Bizzle looks like he just handled.
Did you just poop?
Guess who's back in the house with some big old titties for your mouth?
Yo, you just had to handle business, kid?
Yo, that shit hit me out of nowhere. And you know what I was thinking as I was pooping literally right next to
I can't believe you just pooped during the podcast.
I also thought you pooped pre-podcast. There were like some pre-podcast poop talk.
We were filling dead air with fucking football talk. Now you're pooping? Why don't you take the goddamn laptop in with you? Are you on Wi-Fi?
No, I'm not. I couldn't take the laptop and the mic, so it would have been weird. But it would also been weird for you guys to watch my poop face, which is like this.
You should get one of those like those harmonica like hangers that Bob Dylan has for your microphone, so you can poop pod.
I also think you could potentially rest it on the back of the toilet behind you. And
reverse cowboy that shit.
Reverse cowboy podcast.
You know what?
Look, Oak is gonna demonstrate for us. For all of the YouTube viewers, Oak is showing how you reverse cowboy podcast, potentially while pooping.
I'm at it.
He's got.
I can't. I don't think I can get out of this thing now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
My legs are like wound into the armrests.
I would get too comfortable and my ass would be pushed away from the toilet seat and I would just wind up shitting on the pants around my ankles. It would be just like a fountain into my pants. It made me think,
last
though,
day story.
while I was sitting there, because I don't know how people shit for less than 5 minutes. I was sitting there and I was thinking back to like one of our earliest podcasts. I had to use the bathroom so bad, and it must have been like 5 minutes into the pod, and I was like, damn, I can't. I don't know why I felt uncomfortable. I felt like we have to do this podcast, and I can't do something that's not scheduled or planned. And here we are, a year into it. We're actually established podders, and I fucking left mid-show to shit.
I have wet my pants in 3 out of 5 of these podcasts just because I don't want to get up to pee. Yeah, I wet my pants like all the time. During the podcast, at least. I was thinking about buying diapers, but I haven't gotten around to it.
You should. I think that's like an awesome solution.
I do too. I think I just want to start wearing diapers at night.
But like, what do you do? Like, there's gotta be people who do live TV shows where something happens, you have to take a shit, and what do you do? This is the first time that's happened, and this should get covered. This should get some fucking press coverage.
It's true. This is the real news.
When we're like vaporizing like people in the desert, Anderson Cooper takes time off to use the bathroom. No way, dude. He totally has a diaper.
He totally wears an Anderson Cooper diaper. I bet it's got like it's all embroidered and stuff with Anderson Cooper's initials. Probably says AC360 on it. His adult diaper. We should get CIS diapers, embroidered CIS diapers.
We got to set up like an online store where you can buy.
Yeah, the CIS swag.
I can't tell that story because that person might listen to this podcast.
Everyone that ever listens to this podcast, which is just Jen Savage, it's like, is he gonna tell a story about me? Everyone's so scared now.
I can't. It's okay. I'll tell you guys offline.
Okay, that's.
Oh, that's so hard on the listeners. Come on, let's
so
tell the listeners a story now because we fucked them out of that last one.
No. So you know what it is? Like literally, there's a lot of animosity in my office because people are like, "How did Eric Choi become so like tight with your co-hosts?" And now people are downloading the podcast and listening to it.
Oh.
There's a story that I can't tell because that person might listen to this podcast.
Well, if you are wondering how Eric Choi became so tight with this podcast, fucking follow us on Twitter.
Interact on social media.
And see how it happens.
That's how it happens, man.
Are we so next week? Liz and I will be in Floridizzle.
That's right. We will be.
Are we
pilgrimage town?
Are we planning on potting while we're there?
We could. I don't see why not.
You want to bring your microphone?
Yeah, I'll bring my microphone.
Really?
Yeah, totally.
Oh shit!
Wouldn't be the first time I've schlepped this fucking microphone around.
I mean, I schlepped mine around 2 episodes ago, and I didn't fucking hear the end of it.
Yeah.
I cradled it, threw it up in the air, kissed it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we could probably, if you don't want to schlep it, we could probably get away with, like, do you guys have, like, mics on your headphones that work?
Yeah. That's how I did it for the first, like, 6
Yeah, I mean, that could work, too.
Yeah, I also don't want to break the microphone.
Right. So, I mean, whatever you want to do. There's usually, you can usually find, like, a headset mic that'll work.
Yeah, I have a set or two.
And, like, absent that, even a quiet room can be okay.
But we're going to visit Quincy, so I don't think those exist.
Yeah, we're going to be basically in a giant playpen.
Yeah. Martha just posted a really funny picture on the feed. Guys, I did stand-up comedy last night.
Oh shit! Tell us.
It was great. It was a new show started by stand-up comedian Matt Kona, who's super hilarious, and Owen Lender, also totally hilarious. And it was called a no comedy or new comedy, which basically means that you've had to either do brand new material or just nothing. Just get up on stage completely unprepared, go cold, try and do crowd work, or like ask or answer questions. So I did new stuff, and I actually got a pretty good response to it. So I'm going to start incorporating that into my 5-minute routine, soon to be 10-minute routine, soon to be an hour-long routine, and then I will have my HBO special.
Did you Did you do any new material?
Yeah, I did. I did. I have this bit where I talk about how I'm bad at dating and how I went out with this guy a couple times and it was going pretty well and I liked him, or I didn't necessarily like, I just didn't hate him as much as I hate everybody else. We went out for drinks and he was like, Liz, I just wanted to let you know that I like you. I think you're cool and everything, but I'm not like attracted to you. I don't really feel the same way about you that you do about me. I just wanted to let you know as soon as possible so that you could like get on with your life. And of course I was heartbroken because I like already planned our wedding and everything. But at the same time, I was really grateful that he was like upfront with me about the whole thing, and he got to it soon enough that I will be able to get on with my life. So I knew I was going to feel cool about it, I'd be cool about it eventually, but initially I was pretty upset. So what ended up happening is that I just started talking in an Australian accent because I just wanted to like seem really cool. And then I go into an Australian accent for a minute. So yeah. So I have to practice my Australian accent.
There you go, buddy. Accents are
What does it sound like though? Because it is. Sometimes you think you're doing a great job with an accent.
Yeah. That's all I did. I just yelled, yeah.
There's a lot of the Australian accent's almost like the Boston one because they drop R's a lot.
That's true. Yeah, I watched a couple of teenage Australian YouTube clips. Yeah, like, whatever.
Yeah, it's very like Kennedy-ish almost.
Oh, Kennedy from MTV or like the Kennedy?
Yeah. That's the first time her name's been mentioned in about 30 years.
I know.
We're bringing it back.
We're bringing Kennedy back.
Guys, I have an embarrassing story.
All right, this will make up for the story you withheld earlier.
I know. This is actually really good. I don't know if you guys are ready for this. So tomorrow is that like 35-hour make your life.
Oh yes, I can't wait to see what you're gonna like after this.
Yeah. So last week I emailed the instructors and I'm like, hey, is there anything I need to prepare for this class? And the woman writes back and she goes, no, but can you send me your acting resume and a photo of yourself? So I was like, all right, I could do that. So I don't really have an acting resume, so I just whipped one together that literally highlighted my high school theater heyday, which wasn't fucking that great.
I hope Coming in Sideways is on that resume.
It 1000% is. Yes. I even said available on Stitcher, iTunes, and YouTube.
And if you need us to give you references, we're happy to do so.
Absolutely. I trust you guys implicitly.
Yeah.
Is that the right word?
Sure.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
So, long story short, I put a very different weight on my acting resume. I may have shaved off some breasts and thighs, and
you're gonna lose the weight by tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I said this last week. I said I have a week to not eat. I'll drop this. Yeah. So I send that stuff to her, and then on Tuesday she sends me an email, and she goes, here's the material I want you to prepare for Saturday. You're playing the character of Watts. So I open up the attachment, and there's a description of this guy. And he's in his 20s. I guess I could pass for that, right? Mm-hmm. He's white.
You can also pass for white, so that's good.
Barely, but it's skin on the feet.
Yeah.
He's very good looking, which I found super flattering since this one has seen my photos. And he's Southern. Mm-hmm. And he's very skinny.
That's part of the description?
Yes, I'll send it to you guys.
What weight did you put on your resume? Like 117?
No, I may have put 207. And I may be 247 right now. But in my defense, in my defense, the photo that I sent her may be a little Photoshop, but I was definitely pushing 3 when I took it. So it's also just a close up of my nose. But so I read this and I immediately panicked because I should write back to her and be like, hey,
no,
I'm not 207. Let's talk about this.
Tell her that you just had a baby and that you're going to lose the weight. You'll be fine. And then do this a lot. Just suck in your cheeks. It works for every single movie star.
I'm gonna be like full body contortion like the entire time I'm in front of her. Like, look at this angle. Look how good I look.
Look at us, look here.
But it was just so random. Like as I was reading it, I'll send you guys the description. It says he's very skinny, and I was like, damn. Like why'd that have to be in there? Now, as if I'm not worried enough about like trying to impress this. She's a casting director. So anyway, I'm reading through the script and I was like, this sounds familiar. I think I've seen this movie, but she had omitted any titles, any authors, any kind of attribution. So as I'm reading it, I was like, this definitely sounds familiar. And the person that I have dialogue with, their name is Martha. So I'm like, oh shit, this is cool. Like Martha, we have a friend named Martha. And then it hits me that this is a scene from the movie Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene.
Oh.
I know.
Wait, what? So do you play like the cult leader?
Yes.
Wait, I don't know familiar with this movie. Can you give me the
You don't need to be. It's just basically I'm the actually I am kind of culty, but like more like
in more like a Muslim way.
Yeah.
You're more like ISIS than Appalachia.
Yeah, so basically Liz nailed it. It's like an Appalachian cult where these like young girls just like go there and become sister wives to this like one cult leader, and this one girl breaks free. So yeah,
it's a fucked up movie. It's really fucked up.
This is gonna be like the equivalent of the new Annie movie where they replace all the characters with black characters. Because I'm gonna show up and do this scene, and they're like, "We don't need you to do Monique. You need to be white cult leader, Appalachia style."
Right, and you're like, "Well, I'm gonna play Fluffy, and I don't care."
I'm like, so. But the crazy shit is, I'm like, let me look into this cast and see more about this guy who played the role. Maybe I can figure some stuff that he did well. And the woman who runs my class, she did all the casting for that movie.
Oh, so, wow.
Yeah, so she is going to be like, what the fuck is this?
Or she sees something in you, and you forevermore may be typecast as the fucked up cult leader.
You know, I could see actually something like that happening. Like, you know, sometimes you see like a actor who's been like typecast in a certain role, and then you see their like early stuff or like, and you're like, holy fuck, how did they come up with this for this person? And I could see Byram like ended up getting into roles as like a cult leader, or like a warlord, or like a general or something. And then you look back at his early stuff, and you're like, wow, really?
Wow, he was so jovial. Yeah.
So jovial.
Yeah. He used to drink so much Diet Coke, and now he just
orders executions.
The way I'm envisioning Saturday's class going is, we're in a theater. It's like very American Idol audition style, and they're all like waiting to see who's going to take the stage to play this like super rugged mountain man who just like pounds vag and like eats steaks. And I'm gonna put one leg out behind the curtain, and it's gonna be like a giant jelly platform sandal that I sell, and then there'd be like white fishnets that kind of look like those Asian pear cradles, you know, like the little stocking that they.
Yes. Oh yes.
That's what my leg is gonna look like. That's gonna be like fucking stretching out onto the stage. They're definitely not ready for this.
It would be really cool if you guys could make Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene the musical.
Yes.
I think that would translate really well to the musical format.
I'm thinking of just doing, because I don't know how to do a southern accent without sounding Jamaican. I'm thinking of just doing Bob when I'm on stage.
I'm gonna rape you, because God told me to.
Oh, getting pregnant right now.
We gotta have more cult babies. Ooh, I'm your daddy and your brother.
Kiss her now. Down there.
I feel like this podcast has now come full circle.
Absolutely.
Guys, this podcast was our own personal Vietnam because I have no idea what happened.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I really have
no. We're gonna wake up screaming thinking about it.
I know that the U.S. government definitely gave us hallucinogenics, and we did not know what was happening.
Right.
Yeah. I can't believe I shat during this podcast.
I can't either, and you went for a long time.
I'm not one of those people who can like go in there, drop, and come back. Like I need to sit there for a little bit and think. And the crazy thing is, I used it this morning before I left my apartment, but it was total like drunken, fucking beer shits.
I can't handle sitting in the same room as my poop for more than I absolutely have to because it warms the room. I can't handle being in a room that's been artificially warmed by poop.
Because then you start envisioning the fucking poo vapors, like,
Yeah, like
and you're like, is
like
this me or is the
flies.
air brown? Like,
What is this smog in here?
You're like, oh, is that wallpaper blistering over there?
Yeah, exactly.
good stuff, guys. Good stuff.
Totally good stuff. Yeah, we haven't been talking about poop as much as we used to.
Well, I'm glad we were able to bring it back.
Me too.
You guys got picks this week?
I can.
I'm gonna pretend not to be surprised by this reoccurring segment that we have here.
Yes, I am absolutely prepared with a pick. As I am every
So
week.
my pick this week is fishing.
Yeah.
Just kidding. My pick this week is jujitsu.
Oh, that's a good one.
I found it a nice Brazilian jiu-jitsu school near our house, and I started doing a class occasionally, and I forgot how fucking fun it is. It's
Cool.
so fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
I love it. It's like a really good group. The instructor is like really nice and very good. And I don't know. I find myself driving home with a smile on my face like every time. It's super fun, great exercise. I don't know, I'm enjoying it. So that's
You're that creepy guy that's on the highway just smiling while driving.
Yes. Yes. I got my Britney Spears fucking pounding in the Honda on the way home, and I'm fist pumping.
And you're like bitch on wheels thing that is hanging from your
yes. And you know how you like how I said Britney Spears, because I was racking my brain to think of a fucking contemporary pop star, and I couldn't come up with fucking anybody.
She hasn't made a song, and actually she did come up with that.
Christ, what do I live in a fucking hole in the ground?
Yep.
You know what though? When I was listening to our last podcast while walking to the office yesterday, and I was legit laughing. And I never, whenever I walk by someone who's laughing and has their headphones in, I just assume that they're looking at me and something's wrong with me, and that's what's causing them to laugh. Like I never really think about the fact that they might be listening to something like comedy related, right? I'm sure everyone goes through this, but I always, whenever I pass by someone who's by themselves and they start laughing, I assume that
you have like a meatball in your beard or something.
Yeah, exactly. So I was listening to our podcast and I was legit laughing, and it was like laughing with tears as I was walking, which is a testament to how fucking awesome we are. But
it's fucking funny podcast, dude. I listen to it all the time. It's funny. I would listen to this podcast if I were you.
Yeah.
Listening to the podcast right now. So keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Carry on, Eric Choi.
I really enjoy this podcast, except when there's microphone bumping sounds, and then I fucking scream and slam my head against it.
Well, I did just bump my microphone a couple times, but it's because I had to change my head. Oh, at least I didn't poop during the episode.
Actually, I would prefer pooping.
Okay, I just did then. Fine. However, I can redeem myself in your eyes.
Yeah, you both stalled long enough. I demand picks.
What is my pick? My pick is a book called. It has a longer title, but the only thing you need to look up on Amazon is One Thing, The One Thing, and it's by a guy named Rick Hansen. It's about really easy tricks to be mindful in your life, just trying to learn how to meditate a little bit. So it's called One Thing by Rick Hansen. If anybody's looking to untangle their mind a little bit.
Nice, that's a good one.
Nice.
My unpick is every other podcast, because I've started to listen to other podcasts, and all the other podcasts suck, and this one's the only one that's awesome.
Okay,
so.
let me just interject with a podcast. So there's a podcast called, I've mentioned it before, Dan Carlin's Hardcore History.
Oh yeah.
And so the series that he's doing right now is about World War I.
Ooh.
It is the most fucking brutal shit you could ever imagine. It's he does these long jags about how these guys are in these battles where the entire landscape has been turned into fucking oatmeal by rain and explosive shells.
Bruh.
And there's people sinking to their deaths because you can't pull them out of the mud because it's concrete. And it's just it's the most inhuman, unearthly, horrific scene you could possibly imagine, and it really happened. This is how it really went.
Wow.
People begging people to shoot them because they're stuck in the mud and they'll never get out.
Oh.
And
You
in
literally
addition to
just
the
described.
mustard gas and like all the other fucking horrible things that are going on.
Ooh.
You literally just described my bathroom experience, which is why I didn't bring
Dude,
it. People
this
were
is what I'm
stuck in the
saying.
mud.
Shoot me!
This
I'm
is
never
what I'm
coming
saying.
back from this.
Right. It's like you're insane. You've been stuck in the mud for a week and you're
The
screaming.
terrain is all oatmeal. Everyone's just like trapped.
Yeah. So Dan Carlin's Hardcore History Bean, I think you'll really like it.
Okay.
It's
So
fucking
wait,
cool.
for people who aren't familiar or haven't, who won't be able to download it or will just not do it like me, does he reenact this or he's just describing it? Like, how does it work?
Basically, what he does is he describes, he like kind of tells a story. He tries to lay out like the sort of scene, like generally of like the world and like how the different countries are interacting, and then in significant places, he'll sort of like read parts of history books that capture well like the scene in a certain battle or something, and he'll like tell the story, and then he'll try to really imagine like what it was like for the people on the ground, and like try to give comparisons to like something you might see now, or like try to just illustrate it in a way that like really like sort of makes you like puts you in the shoes of the people that were there. And he does a really good job, like a sickeningly good job. Like you got to like turn it off sometimes because it's so like it's just really poignant, and he really does a good job of making you feel like you can really imagine what it would be like. And it fucking sucks. Like you can't. It's like you just feel so lucky to be able to go sit on your nice warm couch.
Yeah.
It's like that people in this world have gone through some shit that like fucking you can't even imagine.
And hopefully,
no one would even be able to think up in their most twisted imagination.
Right.
And hopefully your couch hasn't been artificially warmed by Liz.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it just heats the room.
Can I just tell you guys, on a related note, my daughter has been taking the most explosive dumps. We started her on solid foods, and she's just blasting. Like, her diapers are no match for the kind of fucking horsepower she's putting into these things.
What kind of solid foods? Like macaroni?
She fucking loves squash. She's like,
loves squash.
Dude, so she gets like out of her mind about squash. She's like clapping her arms and like squealing in delight at the squash. She fucking loves it. She likes oatmeal, not as much as squash. She likes sweet potatoes. Sometimes she gets as excited about sweet potatoes as squash. And peas, she's like not so sure what to make of peas yet. She kind of like grimaces with like green slop all over her mouth.
No wonder her shits are so gross, because those are all like foods that already look like shit.
Well, right, and they come out looking basically exactly the same as they looked when they went in, except like sort of greenish brown.
Right.
But her diaper seems to just act like a ramp that just like accelerates the poop like up her back. So
it just deflects the poop.
yeah, it's like you ever seen High Lie?
Yeah.
They had the like balls in the like little like cup thing, and they throw them like 100 miles an hour. It's like that. My little girl's like poop is like slinging up her back like at a high rate of speed. So yeah, poop.
All right. So actually, my pick of the week is Leah's recent his poop patterns. I changed my pick.
It's funny. For a while, Amy and I were like, man, she doesn't poop enough. We're like a little bit worried, and like, be careful what you wish for, because.
Yeah.
Liz, that's such nepotism, because I was hoping you would pick my poop patterns, which are a little more unique.
Unfortunately, Leah's poop patterns will probably always come before your own, except for when you get really super old and Leah's young, and then your poop might take over her poop because it'll be older.
Okay, fine.
We'll see.
I have two picks of the week this week. One is a new Netflix series that is written and produced by Tina Fey.
Oh!
It launches in March. She's friend of the pod.
Yeah.
And it is kind of related to us. She wrote and produces for NBC. It's called The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. But they decided, instead of just having it be like an NBC series, that they're just going to release a full season on Netflix.
It's exciting.
Yeah, and so it follows a girl who was recently freed from an underground doomsday cult, and she tries to acclimate to life in New York City. So it's pretty much what this podcast was about today.
Basically.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's going to be great. Tina's a big fan of the pod. She writes for us sometimes, so we're always excited to see her do new, great things.
This was basically her springboard, I would say.
Yeah, we don't like to take too much credit for things, but
we're really like an incubator. We're like a fame incubator.
Yeah. And then something closely related to Liz and her fashion choices. There's a designer, Rick Owens, who I had never heard of before today. And he had a runway show yesterday. He makes clothes for men. And he designed these tunics that kind of look like dresses that were cut too short in the crotch. And all the models walking in the show just had their balls exposed while they were walking. So we'll tweet all this out. It's a little NSFW. But Liz, I could definitely see you in some of this couture.
Yeah, I like to wear dresses that are so short that my balls are showing.
Yeah, you've got a good set. You know,
I
they're
know.
smooth.
I've got good genes.
You guys, this is weird.
You know that was another mailbag question though.
Podcast so weird.
No, you know, one of our listener
You know what? I found a towel that I can put over my head
Good.
so that
Whenever the references to your sister's testicles come.
No, the interesting thing is someone wants to know, Oak, how you manage with your sister's vaginal bleeding stories.
I think that I sort of disassociate. I think I have a sort of out of body experience where I try to pretend that I'm just a regular person listening to I don't know.
Me talking about my period.
I try to be supportive of Bean's humor.
While puking, while making puke noises. What if I wish all my stand-up comedy audiences appreciated my humor by going bleh, bleh, bleh. I think they do, actually.
Bean, I appreciate your confrontational style of humor, and I
it's
I
so
don't want to disparage it at all.
confrontational.
It's totally confrontational.
I know.
Suck it!
When I was younger, I used to wear
Fuck
confrontational
you!
T-shirts. So I was wearing confrontational T-shirts.
Now you get up on stage and confront everybody with your
Exactly.
jokes.
So confronty.
So confronting. All right.
I'm gonna go get some coffee.
I love you guys. Hey, this was a great show.
This was a great show. I'm proud of us.
Really excited that Eric Choi was able to join us.
Me too.
That was a lot of fun.
So good to see his face.
I will see all of you guys on Twitter.
Yes.
Maybe Savage can log in and she can try to battle back from the fucking ass whooping she's taken, but I don't expect it.
She's coming from behind Victor. It wouldn't be the first time she's come from behind.
All right. Well, hey, listen, everybody, you got to follow at Sideways the Pod if you want to see how this whole gang battle turns out.
It's a gang fight.
Bang.
And
gang fight.
we're giving away 2 tickets to the gang fight at the Double Dragon in Orleans. So log into Twitter to find out how to win those.
Scorpion balls on us, unless you're a baby.
Clean up your baby's poop.
Yeah.
And we love you guys.
Love you.
Guys, really quickly though. This is.
Wow, way to step on my outro.
I know.
And it doesn't sound like it's going to be said really quickly.
It's fucking
I know. Yeah, I had no intention of saying it quickly. You guys. This is my last time recording from this location, which is
Oh my God, that's right. No more Carnival Wall.
no more Amy Winehouse murals behind me.
Right.
So I don't know what my new situation is going to be because I don't have conference rooms at my new office, and I don't know what time people get there. So we may need to revisit doing weekend.
That should be fine.
Yeah.
A lot of times for me, we'll work something out. We'll figure it out.
We'll talk it out.
But for next week, we're on.
Broadcasting.
Liz and I are
Florida.
roommates.
Yep.
Awesome. So we'll see you guys in Florida.
See you in Florida.
Godspeed. Travel safe.
All right, guys.
I love you.
Love you guys.
Bye.